Namaskar. Um, on behalf of Indian Innovation Academy, I might saying warmly welcome you all to today's exclusive webinar titled Beyond Excel: Transforming Data Analysis with Power BI. This webinar is a part of our new initiative by Indian Innovation Academy to organize webinars on the first Wednesday of each month. The aim of these webinars is to familiarize the employees of Airports Authority of India with new courses and training programs that are being introduced at Indian Innovation Academy. We believe that this initiative will help bridge the knowledge gaps and keep everyone updated on the latest developments in the aviation industry itself. So in this continuation, we are excited to have such an enthusiastic group of participants who have joined us today. This session has been specifically curated for our AI colleagues to explore the immense potential of Power BI in revolutionizing the data analysis and decision making, specifically in civil aviation and their specific cadres. As we all know, the aviation industry is increasingly relying on data-driven insights to enhance the efficiency, to improve the decision making, and staying ahead in the current competitive environment. Today, we will discuss how the Power BI can help us overcome the limitation of our traditional tools like Excel, etc., and introduce the transformative solutions in data analytics and revolutionize the business intelligence itself. So now it is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for the today's session, Mr. B. Senthilvel sir, the Acting Director Training at Indian Innovation Academy. Senthilvel sir is a highly respected professional in the aviation industry with extensive expertise in training and development at the Indian Innovation Academy. And he is bringing a sea of change in academy, which will positively transform the academy in the coming future and will also play a pivotal role in developing skills in AI itself. Sir has also been instrumental in empowering professionals with advanced tools and techniques for data analysis and business intelligence, etc. His deep understanding of the subject and practical insights make him the perfect guide for today's session. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to Senthilvel sir. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayank. Thank you for all the participants to spare your valuable time and join us. So it is only you, those who are encouraging our initiatives. Otherwise, our initiatives may not be having any meaningful outcome. So we will try to continue this kind of webinar in the coming months also, even though we are not sure about the time availability as the additional responsibility I have taken. So now, without delaying, I will just start our presentation today. So when we were talking, myself and Mayank used to discuss about the Power BI, how our colleagues should not waste time in their office day-to-day work and how they should save their time and increase the productivity. Because most of us are using Excel as a main data organizing tool. So when we were interacting with our colleagues, most of them are keen on learning Excel, not an Power BI. So we thought that we need to enlighten at least those who are able to join with us on the webinar about the powerful utility of the Power BI. So that is the initiative we have done. So today, our objective of this webinar is very simple. We would like to just interact what are the limitations in Excel. Then we wanted to discuss on the Power BI, how it can help in cleaning and visualizing our data. And some of the exercise that we used to teach during our training, some of the output of this analytics I wanted to show you so that you will be able to understand yourself how Power BI is most powerful as the name it has. So before getting into our discussion, I would like to request all of you to respond in our chat. Can you tell me which is the basic platform or software that you use for gathering and organizing data? Can you just chat in the chat box? Can you tell? Excel, Google Sheet. Anything else? Excel or Google Sheet? Excel, Excel, Excel. So that one of the, though I love to meet you, all of you at academy, so we are not able to meet due to various reasons. Sometimes you may not get opportunity to get approval to come here also. So this is the only way to interact. So please try to be more interactive on the chat so that I feel more interactive. Okay, software by third party. Okay, so whoever has said software by third party, can you say a little bit more? Like you mean to say about aims or something like that? EPIS, pension software. Okay. So generally, what is as we have seen, majority of you, we are using Excel as the maximum time we are using Excel. So when we are using Excel, I think for more than 2 decades, I think we are using data sheets in some other way or other way. Mainly, we are using Excel. So we were learning Excel. Most of you are might have learned Excel on your own. I think a very few percentage of our colleagues only would have gone for any professional Excel training in the office. Of course, you might have gone for some basic training in some other mechanism. They might have done through RTCs or something or your station. But professionally, we have not, most of us have not learned even Excel. We have learned on our own. So what happens when you learn on your own, you will have so many doubts and whatever you learn, that one only you will be able to use it. So you will not know how to effectively use the tools. So the main drawback, so okay, but now you are all maximum using Excel. Can you list some of your difficulties, what you find when you are working on Excel? You would assume first one condition, you are interacting, say for example, you are in RHQ or CHQ, or even in the station, you are in HR or finance. You are asking the people to share some data through Google Sheet or Excel. What difficulty you find here when you are asking for data to get collect from your colleague as a HOD of finance or a HOD of HR, or you are a store in charge, you are collecting some data. What basic difficulties you find when you are collecting the data and compiling and presenting? Sharing the data physically, yes, that everybody use the different format. Even though you say that you use this format, people are not well versed with a particular format, compare means confining to the particular format that you desire. So what happens is a small airport also, even if they do, you take Bangalore for example, there may be some 100 200 people. So in that airport itself, you find difficulty in compiling the data. Suppose you are the in charge to compile the data, you find difficulty. Then think about RHQ. They will have 10 times, 20 times more problem than you. Think about CHQ, they will have 100 times more problem than you. So this area, the idea behind the entire problem it happens because first thing, we we are not scientifically deciding what is the exact outcome that we want to present it to the top management. Once we decide it, then we should be able to make a correct format of the data. Once you make correct format of the data, then everybody will try to give it in the same format. But again, every one of your colleagues should know about minimum basic knowledge about the Excel or whatever the software tool you are using, so that everybody gives the same data. Then you can easily compile. Say, sir, for example, somebody types date in a text format. Somebody types a date in the month, day, year format. Somebody types in month, day, year in the other way format. So when you make, so everybody gives in different format. When you are compiling at the end result, you will find lot of difficulty in compiling this data. So you'll be fed up in correcting those data to your required field. Once you do, whenever you do maximum manual work, what is the immediate byproduct will come? Whenever you do manual work, more manual work, what kind of byproduct that gives immediately? Apart from the expected result, it gives one more byproduct. Can you tell what is that? Can anybody tell? It will lead to error. The more and more you do manual process, then there is a possibility of error. So when you imagine the small situation where you collect some data, you are not able to compile, that there will be so much of error. what it will ultimately lead, you may be able to produce the wrong data to management, or you may not be able to quickly compare the data, you may get delayed. Say, for example, capex. This is a every one of you are in the stress of capex now, the financial year. But you imagine there is a one perfect platform you made, some proper data structure you defined, and you are using some tools like Power BI. You will not have any problem in updating the data. Say, for example, if I get 1055, the data from Bangalore, Hyderabad, I should be able to produce at 11 o'clock updated data. So that is how we should aim for to do the work in a smartest way. So these are Excel limitations, some of the limitations I told. And there are some more limitations you'll find when you are using Excel. When you are using small basic formulas, you will find so many errors like divide by zero, some so many errors it will give, because what are the formula you decide, it may not meet the requirement in the global way. Means somebody will give some other format, or some data may be null, some data may not have been populated. So your entire formula will give error, and the net result also will be error. So this is the challenges you will find in the Excel. So next thing, once we know the limitation, then we can easily think about the solution. The first thing is data handling itself is a big challenge in Excel, because everybody maintains the data in a scattered manner. So suppose I am a particular airport, I am giving the air traffic data to CPMS, MIS, or some headquarters cell. Even take CNS for example. You are giving daily unserviceability record through some complicated format we make in a text format, we scan it, all so many things we do. But suppose the chairman, you get the data at 11:55. If the chairman wants to see at 12 o'clock, we should be able to see immediately. So we need to go to like that. So this scattered record is one of the biggest problem in the Excel. The second thing, as we have already discussed, manual processes definitely slows the reporting and decision making. Like I told, suppose capex you wanted to update, even local finance. For example, take only local finance. He has allocated so many capital head and yes, FC has given. He wanted to know how much capex is utilized by each department. Every week he send a file, everybody updates. Every time there is a quality control and data validation issues will come. Instead, there will be one Power BI file is already formatted by him. He decides the format based on that format. He gives the individual files to units. They will clearly define the data. Simply, he will put it all the file in a particular folder and open the Power BI. It should give the consolidated report. It should be like that. So how we can do this? That and all we can see. So this particular webinar is not to teach you Power BI, but to sensitize you why you should learn Power BI. So next thing is static reports hinder insights. Imagine suppose you have made a report when you are going to give to management. Generally, you see, well, let us touch our heart and tell. Any time, even in the given at this moment, today, whatever the data presentations we give to management, we used to give directly that Excel sheet only. Suppose somebody is asking, let me know northeastern region, what is the capex utilization? Then we will open new sheet or we'll scroll that sheet, something we do. We don't show any interactive reports. So imagine you have made a report, somebody is asking, top management asking, can I see what is the NER fund utilization? And I particularly about Leela. Then if you take within 2 seconds, if you are able to see 2-3 clicks, that will be the most scientific one. That will make your management to take a decision. Some of the samples and demos I will show you, then you will be able to appreciate what I mean to say. So this Excel, even if you are very much advanced, you have learned so many things in Excel, then you are able to make a very good dashboard. But still it is static nature. It's not interactive. So this is the just I would like to highlight the Excel limitation. And any other limitations can you find out in terms of reporting? Reporting generally, most of our colleagues are not well trained for reporting. So they may compile the Excel sheets, they may gather the data and organize everything they may do, but they may not be able to report. Let me slightly deviate from our technical discussion so that you can easily understand what is Power BI and how we are supposed to present the data. Say, for example, you are going for a outing with your family. Say today your daughter or son's birthday. You are taking them to a restaurant, or you are taking for a good bakery stall where you want to have a cake. Imagine if the bakery stall displays instead of cakes. Every bakery shop they present so many cakes in the different styles. Instead of presenting like this, imagine they present only ingredients in the counter. Say for example, flour, milk, sugar, cream, or any other product like ingredients. How much it will impress you? What way it will impress you when you go to a bakery shop? Similarly, imagine you are taking your loved ones to your dinner to a hotel. They are giving menu card with all photos. Instead of that, they will show only display rice, dal, water, chili, onion like that. What way it will impress you? So you try to understand whenever we are presenting Excel as a data, it may be a table, beautiful table, or whatever it may be, you are not able to, you are not presenting the food or cakes like they are displaying in the restaurant or bakery shop. To management, you are again and again you are showing ingredients only in different way. But what you are expected to give is the ultimate menu that you are supposed to present it. Say for example, even if you go to five-star hotel, it's not about the menu. That's not only about the cooking. It starts from the ingredients collection. They can have very meticulous collection of materials. Then they organize those materials for cooking. After cooking, then yes, Nitin, what do you want? Nitin, you can unmute and yeah. Mayank, whether you are able to read me?
Yes, sir.
Somebody has raised hand. So you can go use the chat box instead of I'm watching the chat box. Any messages that I'm watching that one. So you can put it in chat box. Before I conclude, I will just quickly browse through the chat box also. So some people say audio is lost. Whether you are getting my audio, Mayank?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is perfectly fine, sir.
Maybe that locally you may have to check that
Yes.
audio if you lost it. So maybe briefly it might have got lost in between. Now let me continue. Okay. So let us come to the restaurant once again. So in the restaurant, you see they are collecting all the raw materials. Then they are deciding what are the menus they have to make, and they are cooking. After that, ultimately they present you also very nicely. So that is very important. Now I think you should be able to correlate with what knowledge we have in Excel and what knowledge we are supposed to have, how we differ, how we supposed to present to management. So we are not supposed to present. Suppose imagine you go back to home. Your wife is producing milk, sorry, the coffee powder and sugar, or in fact she is providing a delicious tea or coffee. Which one you will prefer? Naturally, you will prefer the produced final product. So similarly, man. Sorry, 1 minute. Nitin. So that is how management expects. Now let us see, well, let us leave the limitation. Once we know there is somebody to help, so why we should waste our time on limitation? So the why we need to shift ourselves from Excel to Power BI. We need to shift. Today is the time we have to shift ourselves to Power BI. Power BI is not the latest software. It is existing since long. And I tell you at this moment, maybe you write and keep it in 5 years time from now. Power BI also will be obsolete. But we should not surprise that still some of us will be only stuck up with Excel. Then it will be a bigger, means it's not a good thing to happen. So we need to transform ourselves, our skill and approach towards the next level of tools available. So why there is a need for a transformation? Number one, as I told, Excel will not produce a dynamic reports. Now I'll show you some reports. Then you will be able to yourself appreciate and enjoy. Then interactive dashboards, like I told now, suppose you are giving a big presentation. Say you are saying that the top 5 airports where maximum air traffic is there. Suddenly management wants to know, I would like to know region-wise population. Somebody is telling that, show me the data in terms of joint venture airport का traffic कितना है, AI owned airport का traffic कितना है. Then you need not to tell that, okay, sir, we'll come back. No, everything should be ready with you. Whatever they want, you should be able to interactively show to them in a few clicks. So that is not possible in the Excel. Even if it is possible for some people, those who are well versed on Excel dashboard, still it is a very time consuming. So we don't have time. We have very less manpower nowadays, and we are, everywhere we are on toast to complete the task in time. So we need to see the ways how to reduce the time. Then similarly, modeling. Modeling is possible in the our Power BI in a very easiest way. So you maybe some of you, those who know the Excel in advanced level, those who have learned, you know how to look up table, all these things you would have studied, but pivot table, whatever it may be. But all these things are prone to make error. If you are in a hurry, if you are doing like this, it will be a problem. Tomorrow, if you change the data size or rows, addition, deletion, again you have to change that formula. So this all will be a time consuming. In Power BI, what will happen? Say, for example, I tell you a classic example. Say you are in a capex, so headquarter wants to get the data from all over India. So as I told you, imagine you are collecting one by one table. Again, you are reading each table. Then you are cutting and pasting. Then somebody has not put properly. Instead of that, imagine you already made a framework where all the stations tables are linked with your major table, main table through a modeling. So once you connected already, the structure is already made. Simply data comes, then you produce final report what you need. So this and all we used to teach during the training. But what we found that the last 2 3 trainings we had advanced Excel and Power BI. Invariably at the end of the training, most of the colleagues told, let us go for a Power BI training, exclusive training, so that we can discuss more about data analytics. Because those who already know Excel or those who are in the middle management or above, you are not going to process the data. You are only Excel data is going to be structured by your juniors. But in your level, you need to know how to present to the management. So you should know. So we thought that there should be a separate course we should discuss about Power BI. So that's why we have scheduled one course on March only for Power BI, 3 days, so that based on the participants, we want to interact with the people so that we will live real data. We will do the analytics and we'll show. So far we have done HR analytics, CPMS data, some other data also we have done. So like this we will do. Now let us see. Now we will go to Power BI. Once we are talking about this transformation, what is the advantage of our Power BI? How this fellow is a business intelligence tools gives very good time saving mechanism to all of us. Number one is it automates data cleaning and transformation. I will show you a magic type one is example at the end of our webinar. When time permits, I will show you. Otherwise, that is a very big challenge in the Excel, if you are doing in the Excel. So the typical example I will show you on Excel sheet, I will show you then how that is being processed, what is to be processed and how that can be processed in Excel, how much time it will take and how we are can process in Power BI. Practically you'll see. That will clearly tell you how what I mean by transformation. For example, I told you now this some people type in the DD YYY. Some people type in DD YYY. Suppose you take data from different countries, if you are collecting data from different sources, then all these format will be different. So you should know first before, as I told the example, no, of cooking. Before you start cooking, you need to collect the ingredients in the proper order. Then you should know which procedure I have to apply to cook it. So that is the first step comes in the presentation of data is cleaning the data. Like you imagine the vegetables which you remove unwanted thing. First is cleaning. Then you have to do the transformation. So you may have the entire vegetable, you may not put it to full size, you may have to dissect or you may have to reorganize. So many things you have to do. So I'm not going into detail about all these process. That is, if you are having a full training, we can discuss. Now you can imagine, just imagine your kitchen, so you will be able to understand easily. So you have to clean the first vegetable, then you have to transform the existing data, then you have to decide which is important for which menu. So suppose I am I am having one very big data CPMS cell is having, but chairman wants to know last 3 years traffic growth. You give me region wise, airport wise. Then I want to see only this air traffic data only from that whatever the chairman wants to see. So I don't have to process the entire data, whatever they have. So I have to need to pick and choose whatever the data required for the particular transformation. Then I will do the visualization techniques. The next thing, data modeling. So imagine Suppose airport authority is having about 8,000, 10,200 executives. If I am wrong, somebody from HR will be knowing the right figure, but still I am telling you, I did recently some analysis for the training need analysis. Then I found we have around 10,200 executives. 50-50 belongs to ANS. 50-50 belongs to the rest of all the 30 plus beings. So now, suppose the chairman wants to know how many civil engineers are there, which particular place it's a civil engineers, which region civil engineers are more, which region civil engineers are going to retire soon, how many electrical engineers are going to retire soon, how it's our mechanism to adopt the policy. So with a simple Excel SAP database, this kind of information you cannot give very quickly to the management. So this is the decisive information. Now with this general database, entire parameters are available. Now you want to know last 5 years, which are the employees undergone, which are the training. Then you are collecting from individual station. Then the same example you can correlate. Once if I ask, if you give me the job, I will make first what I will do, what is the end result? I will make one framework in Power BI. Then I will make a modeling, some dummy sheets I will create. Then these dummy sheets I will send it to all the region. So once the region will circulate to station, station will compile in the station level. Then once the data comes in the same format, already I model the entire data. Immediately with one or two click, I can produce the employees data last 3 years, who and all went to how many trainings, which are the institute they went. So like this, modeling is possible in the Power BI, which is not possible in the Excel. Even if it is possible, in an airport, maybe one or two executives only will be capable of doing that. So what we prefer as a APD or as a management, people want more, maximum people should be able to do their job. So that is the biggest advantage of Power BI. Then third one is visualizing data. This visualizing part is the end. Say for example, in a restaurant, again you tell, which is the most difficult job? Serving the data is difficult or cooking the food is difficult? Serving is very easy. Once the kitchen, if the food is ready, a proper chef is there, he is a very quality controlled ingredients he has taken, he has cooked that food, now he is only going to deliver. Deliver is very simple. So generally what we all think, those who are using Excel, this dashboard only is a cumbersome for us. Dashboard only is a difficult for us. But in Power BI, it is like exactly what I am saying. Once the food is cooked, delivering to somebody, customer is not a very big job. So that's a visualization is like that in Power BI. Very easy click. One click it will come. What are the way you want to make the chart? Number of charts you can make. Excellent way of processing you can show so that management can take a quick decision. In addition to that, they can also make in addition, sorry, just 1 minute, I'll take back. In addition, the most impressive thing in visualization in Power BI is interactive. You can easily interact with the chart, whatever you have already created. That under I will show you a demo, then you will be able to understand. So now once we have done all these things, now what we have discussed basically, what are the limitations of Excel? I just highlighted some of the limitations. I am sure very much that you are really struggling with Excel data. What are the maybe one or two points only highlighted, but those things are very much real, because I also worked this 5 to 7 years in a Bangalore store. I was looking at a general store also. I know how to compare. Difficulties will come in comparing data. For example, even for example, uniform. You want to distribute a uniform, then how to collect data. So some knowledge on these will help you to work very smartly. So even people used to ask me, you are a CNS fellow, how you are handling uniform distribution? Because you should have some common sense and you should know what kind of data is required for distributing the uniform. Simply make some forms and send them, they will give and you compile very easily. Then it will be an easy task. Otherwise, it will be a very difficult task. So now we will go for some practical this thing. In our ANS or airport operation, basically airport authority is having two major accountabilities, isn't it? One is airport development and operation. Second one is air navigation services. Why this? As Mayank told recently, I introduced so many training, even though that participants are not able to understand why these new trainings are made, and most unfortunately APDs, REDs are not allowing you to come here also. So that's why we started this kind of webinar, so that we should try to highlight why we brought the new training. So like the training like data driven decision making, design thinking, these are all very very important. Design thinking means it's not that somebody is going to design an airport, no. So it's everything starts with data. See, today the world is runs with data only. There is one say, I don't believe in God, but if you show me the data, I believe God. That's what people say now. So we need to see that data, how we will get it to make any decision. In our scenario, you imagine whatever the airport operation. Airport operation is one of the most important thing, where thousands of uh, means heterogeneous population comes. The most challenging in air side operation, airport operation is the most challenging part. Is that if you take for example, I used to tell CNS colleagues, when you talk about navites, it's being used by highly qualified pilots. When you talk about AMHS, it is being used by so many people. It is not only pilot is using. Similarly, you go for any system which is used by many people of heterogeneous nature, you will have a lot of challenges. So for one example, that's why I quoted predict passenger and cargo trends. You wanted to see for all over India, you wanted to present a paper to present some presentation to management. So you should do proper data collection. The first starts with the ingredients. So you should know, suppose you are thinking of making a good presentation on passenger footprint. First, you should start with the data. The structure, what you decide is more very much important. Thereafter only, next step is coming. How do you collect those data from the field? Then once you collect the data, how the way you want to transform the data. Then how to transform the data, then how you present the data. Then once visualization is made, then how are you going to analyze those data so that you will customize your dashboard with multiple visual chart, so that management will be able to understand exactly, yes, this is what I want. I will show you one small example after these slides. Some 2 3 examples I'll show you. By seeing that itself, you can see which region we have to concentrate. Just one click, one look only, management will decide. Okay, this region is we have to put more effort. So like this, we should present. You should not present, keep on scrolling the data. So this is one example. The capacity planning will be the major challenge in the coming days. We are opening so many airports. We do repeatedly same task. At the same time, we need to organize our data and present in a proper way. Then it will be easy. Then second example, like CNS people are monitoring a system status report. Every day they are getting. So you collect, then they will do a lot of process. Then you make it. Instead of that, a visual chart we can visualize. Suppose one click, if chairman or member ANS is able to see which are the facilities are unserviceable today in our airspace. And if he is able to see, for example, okay, why this particular region more fault is coming. So you want to know which region maximum systems are getting more problem. Then what is the reason? Then whether the systems are age is what is the age. So if you correlate, if you can visualize whatever I'm saying, if you can correlate all your data, it will be very interactive dashboard you will make, where the management will easily able to convince, because management also believes only facts and figures. It is not that how nicely you orate. Nobody believes that. Today, all our decisions are cost intensive. So we need to say, sir, this is the region we are finding more problem, because this particular region, the unserviceability mainly due to this equipment, which are this many years old, or this particular make model. Like this, it will give the entire horoscope of the facility. Instead of producing on Excel sheet or on whatever it may be the process information, today unserviceability is this much percentage, it may not give much decision for the top management to take a further decision. Then third one, maintenance also. Even if you are this whatever example I'm saying, you can imagine any system. It is not that it is, I am talking about a capacity planning. Capacity planning starts from HR only. If you want to have a quality manpower, that starts from HR. So HR analytics also is a very, very important on capacity building. Like I gave example. Say for example, now my team at IAA, they are very well versed. If I ask them, even a JE, on JE is that she will tell how much percentage is the young people in AI, how much percentage is in this much population, how many percentage are belong to generation is that A, X, Y, everything they will be able to tell, because I train them like that. So with the data, when you are taking a decision, your decision will be correct. Otherwise, it will be a superficial. Your judgments will not be standing in front of management. So even in the maintenance also, you can use the data-driven maintenance. So suppose, if, for example, those days we used to have manual reading, too much of reading. Nowadays it is automated. So most of the readings you get it in the computer. But even otherwise, you want to say some scientifically some proposal you want to make. Say for example, just one example I am telling. I am not telling a I am not a domain expert in flight calibration. Just for example, I am telling. Say for example, we have a challenge of flight calibration in completing in a short time in every airport. But if you have a data-driven maintenance policy, if you are able to find out the system integrity level and everything, then yes, we can confidently tell you are nowadays. I think we have the operators can confidently make a decision. Okay, these are the calibration we'll do in this frequency. These are the we can do this frequency. Once, how do you come to the conclusion? If you have a data, if you have a data and you can tell this is our maintenance philosophy, these are system integrity levels of this system, there is no need of calibrating this for this much frequency. There is no need because India is a very big country. We need to think in a data driven decision making. So this data driven decision making also starts from your data only. So now hope I have justified these 4 or 5 points. Initially we talked about the limitation of Excel. Your experience is the witness for that one. Second thing, we talked about why we need to move towards some other solution. Then we found a solution, that is Power BI. There are many solutions, but still Power BI is the most advantageous one because most of us use MS Office only. In a airport authority, we are using MS Office only. So it's better we should go for a Microsoft product, which is also a free. The desktop is free. So why we should not use? Forget about interacting with online collaboration, all these things. But you can process the data, store it. You can produce it very easily. If you have your own laptop, you can process very quickly. Your time will be saved. If you have less manpower, also still you can make a lot of smart work you can do through this kind of smart tools. Now I will give one or two demo. First demo, I will give you one Excel sheet. I will show you. Then I would like all of you to try to interact. So you don't worry if you are not able to do anything. Nothing to worry. In a airport authority, we all are. I used to tell our the peers in the Indian Aviation Academy, whoever comes, I used to tell them the faculty from coming from outside organization or DGCA, because one thing I used to tell, our AI colleagues are the most sincere trainees I used to see in IA. They are so sincere when they come here. Whatever assignments we give, whatever work we give, they are so sportively they learn. Let them be GM or a JE. They work very well. So what I am saying, there is nothing to worry. Just I will present an Excel sheet to you. I will present what is that Excel sheet, what are the data we have to process. Then you can give comment how we will start processing that one, or how much time it will take, or whether it is easy, difficult. So just I wanted to understand my knowledge also. So what I mean to say that we all are learning together. It's not that I am a big expert or something, because I got a lot of crises, lot of shortage of manpower in so many ways. Then I found what a way we can smartly reduce the workload of our subordinates. So I found Power BI is one of the biggest tool. So now I will change my screen to Power BI.